Hello everyone, it's Jasmine. See, I just have to apologize. It has been so long since I streamed last, but I finally had time to do so. There's people on my Discord blowing me up, so you're probably gonna hear that. But anyway, I okay. School has been tearing me up. See, I am a sophomore in high school, so I'm doing a lot of work. It's been a long time since I've streamed. I will say I am a little bit nervous, but I can't help it. I'm just a little nervous. But yeah, I I don't know what should I update you guys on. There's a lot of cool things. Um One thing is, how was everybody's Halloween going? Or how did it go? Oh my gosh. My Halloween, personally, I went with Ty. You guys know him. I was Eric Draven from The Crow, and he was the Grim Reaper. It was so freaking fun. We got chased by like somebody who was like scare acting in like a little mini haunted house. It was awesome. What else? Oh, I started watching Kengan Ashura, which is an anime on Netflix. Thanks to one of my really good classmates in my 8th period. He told me it was a really good anime, so I decided to watch it, and I already have a favorite character. Um, so, I won't give, or I'll try not to give spoilers. It might be an accident, but I do. It's basically, from what I've gathered, I haven't finished it. I want to, but I didn't have the time to. I'm on like episode 6 or 7 out of 36 episodes. I have a long way to go. But it's about I'm sorry, I'm just remembering everything that I've watched and I'm just like, "Oh no." So, it's an anime about I don't know how to explain it. It's really difficult to explain because I only know so much. it's it's really cool. There's a lot of good fights. I will say that it's very action packed. If I remember correctly, the protagonist is named Oma. He is extremely strong, and he's just my Discord's blowing me up. Anyway, he's a really cool character altogether. Like he's chill. His emotions are kind of barely there, but he's still chill and respectful in a way, from what I've gathered. He participates in like these fighting matches called Kengan matches, and then episode 2. Okay, so my classmate lied to me because there were a few reasons why I started watching Kengan Ashura. One, because I thought it was a really cool anime. 2, I wanted to give my classmate somebody to talk to about it. And 3, there was a certain character that caught my eye that I wanted to see more of. Because my classmate, being the awesome classmate he showed me a clip, like a small clip of this character. And when I tell you I fell in love with the character, I decided to watch the anime. Not that, but like the animation and everything just looks so cool. And I was like, I need a new anime to watch, even though I have a whole list. But for some reason, I've been wanting to watch like shorter animes. Like, I really want to watch One Punch Man, which I'm probably gonna watch after I finish. Oh, excuse me. After I finish Kageguri and Black Butler, I'm probably gonna watch and King of Nostra. I'll have to finish that too before I start One Punch Man. But yeah, the character's name. I don't know if I should say it. He's a very cool character. See, there's always that one character that is like slightly obsessive, but in a very cool way. Like, yes, there will be like those characters that you'll just be looking at the screen like, why are you on the screen? Like, there are those type of characters. But this character is not that type of character. This character is obsessive, but in a very awesome way. He reminds me of, like, if you mixed I'm trying to think. If you mixed the personalities of I don't he reminds me, like, his appearance, he reminds me of Illumi from Hunter x Hunter because he has long hair just like Illumi. I would pull up a picture, but the thing is, I've already had my streams taken down twice for some dumb reasons. So I'm not gonna risk it. You're just gonna see my face and maybe some drawings if I decide to draw. But it's like, did I even say the character's name? I didn't say the character's name. So this character is called Kiryu Setsuna. He's freaking awesome. Like, hear me out on this. My classmate lied to me, saying that he would be introduced in the second season. More like the second episode he was introduced. He was introduced in the second episode. And I was just like, so my classmate lied to me. But the scene that he was introduced in was so good. I'm so sad. I keep slamming on my desk because I'm just like, I'm filled with energy right now. I just had McDonald's. I just had a chocolate shake. It's kicking in. But it's so cool. Like, I've only seen a few episodes, but I'm attached to it already. Like, it's freaking cool. I would watch another episode, but I'm just gonna be on the stream, and I don't want my streams getting taken down. But yeah, that's one cool thing. Another thing was, so as some of you guys know, I did do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for about a year because I made like 2 or 3 videos. I think it was 2 videos on me getting ready for jiu-jitsu, to where I literally grabbed my gi, which is the like uniform that you use for Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I would be like, okay, get ready with me. I've been thinking about it. I miss everybody there, and they moved to a whole new building. So when I went to go visit, because the coach in there said that I was more than welcome to visit, I go in there, and with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where I trained, the coach would organize testing days to where, like, I think it was every 3 months, it would be on a weekend, like it would be like a Saturday. And it would be a time to where, I don't know if I should. The box that I have my gi in is covered in like 5 other boxes, and I do not want to dig through that stuff. But hopefully you guys can remember the belt that I had. I started off as a white belt with 0 stripes, just the whole black thing where the stripes go. Before you can move to a new belt, because I switched to gray-white belt, you have to get, from where I trained, you had to get 3 white stripes and 1 red stripe. And then after that, because that's 4 testing days already. So that's a year. A year or so. Anyway, so I think it was 3 months, but how long did I really? I think I spent a year and a half, because I did 6 testing days. 4 for the stripes that I had, like the 3 white stripes and 1 red stripe. 5 to switch to the gray-white, and then 1 more testing day to get 1 stripe on my belt. That was something really cool. And when I went to visit that place, they were doing their material, like they were preparing and training their material for a testing day coming up. And I just remember watching, because I remember, like, I felt a crap ton of nostalgia watching people, like the ones who had 0 stripes on their white belts. I remember looking at them and I was like, I remember being as nervous as they were. I remember being so scared and so intimidated by the training that I didn't think I would even get one stripe, but then the more I practiced, the more I fell in love with it. But then later I left because of personal reasons like drama and just in general. I I wasn't really in the right mindset. My mindset back then, I just thought that I would be failing everyone and that I knew inside because I wanted to last as long as possible, but I knew on the inside like I'm not ready for this. But now when I went to visit, I thought about it and I keep thinking about it. I was just like, I really do want to join back. I miss sparring with everyone. I miss doing the warm ups. I miss training. I miss the late dinners. Whew. I just, in general, I really do miss everybody there. It's not just the training or the material either. It's not just the place. It's not just the fact that I can learn self defense, but it's the people there too. The environment there, they, pardon my language when I say this, they were strict with us, but they weren't assholes. They were they were nice to us, yes, but they were stern because they knew in battle if your opponent would never let you stand up. And that's what they taught us. And I miss that. I really do. But one thing that still does get in my way is my studies for one, because I'm going into the medical field, but also the fact that my life already is kind of a little bit busy because while my mental state has gotten a lot better, I still struggle here and there to a point to where it's not like to where because I don't have any depressive episodes. I don't even remember the last time I had a, well, wait, no, I do actually. The last time I had a panic attack was like a few months ago because I don't remember. I think I was having like, I don't remember. I can't really lie to you guys and say that I haven't had panic attacks because I remember having one like a few months ago. Because I don't remember how. Anyway, and I don't have like harmful thoughts. I don't indulge in anything harmful. I haven't thought of taking my own life in a while. So my mental state has gotten better. However, my mental state is more like I struggle as in like stress because I'm living under like expectations that me and my parents put myself into. And not to mention the students that I go to school with suck so much. Like, no, just no. I do not like them whatsoever. There are a few people that I make exceptions to, like my classmate that I told you about, Ty, because Ty goes to school with me. Those are exceptions that I have. But other than that, I do not like the kids at my school. Like, we have school resource officers there, but we all know, like, people in my school say it all the time. If if there was gonna be somebody that wanted to shoot up our school, the police aren't gonna do anything. Not our school resource officers. We're gonna be doomed. So that's why, because personally, I don't feel safe in that school as much as I should. And I know a lot of students would agree. But it's not just the fact that there are school resource officers that would probably not help. They're really nice. I don't get me wrong. The officers are really, really nice. They're not jerks. They've sort of stopped fights. But contrary of that, speaking of fights, now that we have a new now that the previous seniors have graduated and new freshmen are coming in, It's a whole new getting used to. And these freshmen, I am telling you, I sometimes think to myself, like, were we this bad? Is this how our upperclassmen felt? Because these freshmen, they're so. First of all, we got disqualified in a pep rally because freshmen kept throwing glow sticks, alongside with the sophomores throwing glow sticks too, because it was a blacklight pep rally, and throwing glow sticks we thought was okay because people were throwing glow sticks. Anyway, but the freshmen, see, with us, like the 2022 to 2023 school year, there would be fights happening, yes. There was one giant fight fest, not fright, but fight fest that happened before Christmas break started. 8 fights happened. A girl had to be put on a stretcher to go to the hospital. We've had those moments, but fights never happened as often as it did now. Because these freshmen, whether it be the same grade or with upperclassmen, they fight on site. Because I know some of the freshmen too. Like, there's a few girls, I don't want to name names because I'm not going to stoop down to their level, but there are a ton of freshmen that I know who didn't even know that I was a grade above them. Which I admire, because there are a lot of underclassmen that are like intimidated by people above their grade. I respect that. However, there's a difference between not being intimidated and being respectful about it, and then not being intimidated but being an a-hole about it, like being a jerk. Like, there's few girls and boys in particular that I had drama with in junior high before I went to high school. They're here in my school now. And immediately they know who I am. So, I'm not really scared. I'm just like, are they going to be the same? Are they going to behave the same way? Because honestly, it's annoying. I will say, I'm not trying to like bash anyone. If I sound like it is, I don't mean it that way. However, like, us kids in high school, all of us, we need to get our lives together. We need to cut it out. Now, I know that's not going to happen because things don't happen overnight. And with how the school is handling it and the school board in general is handling it, I wouldn't be surprised if the whole thing does not get fixed. More than that, the classes are fine. I got a new phone, which is very cool. It's my dad's old phone, which I'm still happy about. Oh, I don't know if I showed you guys, but you might remember in the previous live streams, it probably looks white on the live stream, but my wall used to be a hot pink, like, oh my gosh, like this pink. That's what it used to look like. Now I asked my parents if we could paint my room periwinkle, because my grandmother, a very wise lady indeed, she told me that when it comes to rooms, like bedrooms and stuff like that, the darker the color, the more cramped you will feel, but the lighter the color, the more space you will feel. I tested that out. Not with the paint, because I still had my hot pink walls when I tried this. I have like a little LED Karabika. I think I've shown you guys before. But it's like those little things, like the little black circles, and you stick the little plastic thing in there, and it has little like details in it, and then you turn on the light, and then it shows. It's beautiful. It's adorable. I have one of Karabika. I really want to find one for Kiryu Setsuna because he's very cool too. But I tried it out because, believe it or not, because I have LED strips on my desk, but these things are not as powerful as I thought they were going to be. Like, they're red. Like, when I put it on the red setting, it's like orange, which I'm still not mad about. It's It's better than nothing because I don't really use red that much anyway for the strips. I usually use like the blues, purples, and greens. But with my LED Karapika, it's so powerful, it covers the entire room. Like, it even goes around the corners of, like, my desk and stuff like that. So I tried it. I laid down in bed. My bed used to be right here where my vanity and my little mini couch and my bookshelf is now. And I remember laying down, and I had my little Karapika. Because how am I forgetting the layout of my room? I remember my bed used to be right here. My desk used to be like right here. The vanity would be in the corner. And then the TV would be right there. And then I would have like the shelf right there. The couch was right there. Anyway, I remember Ow. Anyway, I was like flipping through colors because believe it or not, the LEDs, like when you have certain color painted walls, the colors of the LEDs do seem to change the wall's color temporarily. I remember flipping through colors, but then when I clicked red, which it's like a very powerful red, like as red as the YouTube like logo, maybe even a little more darker than that. I clicked on red, and the walls, when they were hot pink, they looked white. So I was like, wait a minute. So I stood up and I walked around, and I was like, was my room this big before? So I was like, wait a minute. So then after a little bit more experimenting, I decided to paint my room with my parents. I did. My bed is now right behind the camera. I still have to do some tidying up. Like, I went through everything this weekend, and I have a bunch of clothes on my couch right now. I cleaned the desk in the vanity, and I organized this little bookshelf, which I'm going to actually get a little bit of this Cookie Monster scrub. It's very good. I like it. I don't use lip scrubs that often, but when I do, it feels freaking awesome. I've been taking a lot more good care of myself. Thank goodness, I needed it. Believe it or not, at our ages, we're teenagers. We can be lazy. I was kind of putting off tidying up everything because I was just kind of nervous, but also I was feeling unmotivated, and I will admit I was feeling lazy. But then as soon as I started cleaning up, I found a lot of fun in it. Like, I used to have a little white table on like this corner where I now have my colored pencils, my pens, all that good stuff. And do you know how many times I've kicked the pencil cases when it was on like the little table? Because the table is like this big. Like, compared to my head, it was this big. So it was elevated. And I have kicked my pencil case so much I've broken a few pencils. Because I'm going to say I'm a rough sleeper. I kick, I punch in my sleep. It's fine. We all sleep in different ways. Anyway, but yeah, when you clean your room, like, I'm working on a whole new fresh start. I have fairy lights on my bed. It was what I really needed, because the way my room was, I've lived with it for basically most of my time living here in this house. So, me doing this fresh new start, I felt like I really did need it. Because now I'm like a lot more happier here. I've always been happy in this house, but I feel like a lot more creatively expressed. I don't know how to really say words. But yeah, I've felt a lot better. But nobody's perfect. I still stress because stress is a normal human emotion. It sucks, but it's a normal human emotion. I have this random block of clay that I originally was going to use to make a mask for a ghost cosplay, ghost from Call of Duty. That didn't work out, so now I just have this clay. It's so hard. It's oven bake. I hate oven bake clay, especially when I was trying to use a mask to freaking use as a mold, but then it stuck to the mask, and I'm just like, life. Life is fun. Life is short. Have fun when you can. Just don't do anything dumb. I'm surprised nobody joined yet. I mean, it is very late, so yeah, but I'm glad I got to stream again. It was very nice. What else should I say? I need questions. I don't really know what to talk about. If you guys are awake, please join. I want to talk to you guys again. I missed you guys. I have been drawing a lot more. And not to mention, I've been just I've been happy. I would say I'm very, 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 very happy. Sorry. I am a teensy bit sick. Oh, another cool update. My amazing, lovely, gorgeous, amazing goddess of a mother gave me the Hades perspective. As you guys know, I have watched. Here, let me take. So, you guys know that I've read this series: Touch of Darkness, Touch of Ruin, Touch of Malice. When I thought I was just gonna be bookless while waiting for the fourth book, A Touch of Chaos, to come out in 2024, my mother and we went to Barnes & Noble because the website said 2023 of September that the fourth one would be out. We were wrong. But then my amazing, beautiful, lovely mother, she decided, you know what? Try the Hades perspective. When I tell you, it all makes sense. Because when you read a series that is just one perspective and then you read the other person's perspective, it is so good. So A Game of Fate is in the same timeline as A Touch of Darkness. When I finished A Game of Fate, I was like, I need to read the others. So, sure enough, me and my mother, we go to Barnes & Noble. We find A Game of Gods, which is the third book of the series and the one that I'm currently reading. And then I'm like, well, Mom, there was a deal to where we could buy one, get one half off, I think it was. And she was like, find the second book. And I was like, okay. I looked through every single shelf. My eyes were freaking lasers. I was in there. And then there was only one book left. Game of Retribution. This book made me cry like 3 times. Because, spoilers ahead, I will not spoil anime, but I will spoil books. Anyway, I'm joking. I'm not going to do that all the time. So, A Game of Retribution I can't speak. The Game of Retribution is in the same timeline as A Touch of Ruin. Now, in A Touch of Darkness and Game of Fate, Persephone is, because it's Persephone and Hades. Persephone, she's kind of finding herself. She's pretending to be a human. She's a journalist. She's working hard. She's trying not to embrace the fact that she's a goddess of spring to be exact. Now, it's a retelling. It's not actual Greek mythology. Personally, I'm going to get attacked for this. I don't really believe. Well, I believe in other people's opinions. Like when people say like, "Oh, this happened," I think of it as a story, so I listen. I don't pray to Greek gods or anything like that, but I like to read about them because it's cool. But not only that, but like I have friends that actually do pray to the Greek gods, and I'm like, okay, I'll support you. Personally, I'm Catholic, so I don't pray to. Well, technically, I don't pray to Greek gods. I pray to God and Jesus. The best I can, anyway. I'm still 15. I'm naive and I'm dumb. But anyway, Hades finds her, and in Persephone's point of view, because she goes to one of Hades' clubs because he owns clubs, because she's being rebellious, because Demeter is freaking mean. Anyway, she invites a man to her table because Hades would make bargains that were deemed to be impossible if they were his favorites, all that stuff. So she asks the man to play, like to teach her to play poker. He does, and she lost the game, but she didn't know it. And then she's like, because her mother Demeter said, don't interact with other gods. Don't show your divine form. Don't interact with Hades. She broke all of them rules. She broke all of them. And then Stephanie's like, here, hold on. Where? Should I read? Okay. Give me. Okay. I'm gonna read it from the Game of Fate. Let me find it. Okay. Trying to find it. Okay. This is from Hades' point of view, by the way. Yes, I bookmarked and sticky noted my favorite parts. Anyway, I am on page 37 right now. Like, I'm starting on page 37. This is chapter 2, A Game of Fate. I'm saying that like you can read that. Anyway, so back on page 37. I'm sorry. Okay. Her gaze dropped to the cards. I don't understand why people do this. He tilted his head. Oh, mind you, Hades was pretending to not be Hades. Hades was just pretending to be a normal dude. Anyway, he tilted his head. You're not enjoying our game. I am, but I don't understand why people play Hades. Why do they want to sell their soul to him? Haven't you ever been desperate for something? He wanted to ask, but he knew the answer. He could feel it burning between them. They don't agree to a game because they want to sell their soul, he said. They do it because they think they can win. Do they win? Sometimes. Does that anger him, you think? She had pursed her lips at the question, and dread tightened in his chest. This woman had connections to Demeter, which meant she had heard the worst things about him. If he had any hope of deconstructing the myth that had been erected around him, he was going to have to spend time with her, and that meant she needed to know who he was. So he answered her question truthfully. Darling, I win either way. Her eyes went wide, and she stood quickly, almost knocking her chair over. He had never seen anyone so eager to leave his company. His name slipped out of her mouth like a curse. Hades. He shuddered. Say it again, he wanted to command, but he kept his mouth shut. His eyes darkened, and he pressed his lips together. The look on her face would haunt him for eternity. She was shocked, frightened, embarrassed. She made a mistake. He read it on her face. I have to go. She spun, fleeing from him like he was death himself coming to steal her soul. He thought about chasing after her, but knew it did not matter whether or not he followed. She would be back. She had lost to him, and he had marked her on the wrist. Sorry. He swallowed the rest of his whiskey and smiled. Perhaps Aphrodite's bargain would not be so impossible after all. Fastest path, quickest benefit, he muttered. Because I was actually thinking, because when he said, darling, I win either way, in Persephone's point of view, I was like, hold on for 5 minutes. I put the book, listen, this was me with the book. I had it, and I was just like this. I was just like I got up, I put the book down, and I stayed away from it for like 5 minutes. But I was like really wondering. I was like, what was going through his head? And then sure enough, we find out. So yeah. And then one of the reasons why Game of Retribution made me cry, because believe it or not, the only time in the Persephone point of views that made me cry was A Touch of Malice, which was the 3rd book. But the Hades point of views made me cry at least twice in every book. In this one, the one that made me cry most, spoilers ahead, yet again, in A Touch of Ruin, Persephone, her magic has grown because in the first book, the most she could do that showed any divinity was that if she touched flowers, they would wilt. That's sad. Anyway, she was gaining her powers, but then she decided to quit her job and start a blog called The Advocate. And there was a guy named Pyrrhus. For you people, like for you people watching out there who actually know like more than me about the Greek gods, like Greek mythology, kudos to you. You're freaking awesome. Anyway, he helped her escape paparazzi twice because her relationship with Hades had gone public. So the paparazzi was getting involved. So he helped her escape twice, and she was very kind to him. She thought of him as a really good friend. So she goes down to the basement because he was a janitor and he worked in the basement. Like that was his workspace, his office. And she goes to say bye to him. Allow me. Touch of Ruin. Page. Hold on. Also, a bit of a trigger warning. This involves kidnapping, it involves stalking, and it involves sexual assault. So be prepared. It didn't make me cry, but it really did make me like kind of shudder in my seat because I was reading this book on a plane. And I was just reading it and I was just like, anyway. Also, the front desk person, like the front desk lady, her name is Helen of Troy. Anyway, she said, "Look, take me with you, Persephone. I don't want to work without you." So Persephone, being the kind-hearted person she is, she said, okay. But then, okay, page 415. Helen squealed, grabbed her purse, and joined Persephone in the elevator. When they made it to the first floor, Persephone handed the box to Helen. Will you wait for me? I have to say goodbye to someone. Oh, sure, Helen said. Persephone headed to the basement in search of Pyrrhus. She found his office empty. Glancing over his desk, amid stacks of work orders and tools, she spotted a notebook. She recalled the day she'd startled him in his office to ask if he could help her escape again, and how protective he seemed of the information inside. Yet it lay open, tiny handwriting scribbled across the pages. She might have left it unread had she not spotted her name on the page. Curiosity overwhelmed her, and she began to read. Date 7/2. I think that's July. Hold on. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, July 2nd. So this is what he wrote about her. Should I? I don't know if I should. freaking. Date July 2nd. She wore a white shirt and a black and white striped skirt today, hair up. The shirt was cut low, and I could see the swell of her chest as she breathed. Persephone's blood ran cold. What the fuck is this? She turned a page. There was a new description of her outfit for the next day, a pink fitted dress and white heels. I'm gonna skip this one because it is a lot more explicit. Further down, he wrote, there was another report about her and Hades in the news today. Every single day, someone is reminding me she is with him. She won't love him long. He is a god, and they destroy everything they love. I will make sure of that. Then she found the list. Duct tape, rope, sleeping pills, condoms. When I read that, I was so traumatized. Like, I was really traumatized. I was just like, so you're telling me that somebody who's supposed to be her friend was plotting this. Okay, I'm gonna skip forward. Basically, he barges in. He's like, it looks like you're snooping. She throws a flashlight at him, tries to run away, but then he puts her to sleep just by saying the word sleep. Now, I'm going to give you a long story short on this because I'm about to read it from Game of Retribution. Long story short, she wakes up, her mind is fuzzy, she can't summon her magic or anything. Pericles comes into view. Turns out he was a demigod son of Zeus because his eyes went from black to gold. And then she's saying, like, Hades will find me, Hades will tear you apart. He's like, don't say his name, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, my love, I won't hurt you. She says, don't call me that. All of this stuff. So, here, this is just being a creepy, like Zeus. A creep. Speaking of, literally when he says, hold on. This made me laugh. Comedic relief, just a little bit. But the man shot forward, twining his fingers into her hair and pulling her head back. When she met his gaze, she noticed the color of his irises had changed from black to gold. You're a demigod? A wicked smile cut across his face. Son of Zeus. Oh gods, no wonder you're such a fucking creep. That made me laugh. I was just like, okay, Persephone. Call him out. Go ahead. Anyway. He attempts. He didn't succeed. But he attempted to take her by force in that way. If you know, you know. She kills him. Mind you, with her hands tied behind her back on a chair, because her magic finally awoke, she speared him through the chest with a giant stake. Wooden stake. Built by her magic. A queen. Anyway. Now, I was wondering, because one thing that I was really excited about in Game of Retribution was, how did Hades react hearing about the fact that she was abducted? And then sure enough, we find out. I just realized I treated the Persephone point of view books so horribly. Like, you could see how many times I've read them. It's like, look at the... But then look at the Hades perspectives. They're so neat. I think it's because I read them so fast. Because with the Persephone point of view, I was reading like one chapter every day. So I kept opening, closing, opening, closing. I just was taking them everywhere. All I'm saying is everybody needs a man like Hades. Anyway. What? Anyway. Okay. Prepare. This is gonna be interesting. This time, I'm gonna skip because they did put 2 new entries in his journal in Pyrrhus' journal in there, but I will be skipping those because those are also a little bit explicit. Nevernight is the club that Hades owned, by the way, just for a little bit of context. Antony is a person that would run errands for Hades and would always drive Persephone to work and drive Hades and Persephone to places, all that good stuff. A very kind man. Zophie was I think it's called an Axis. I don't know how to pronounce it. But she was basically like Persephone's bodyguard of sorts. But then Zophie, she was also an Amazon. Like she grew up. It's an Aegis. Okay. And Zophie is an Aegis. And Helen is mentioned in this too. Anyway. Start. Hades returned to Nevernight with the ring safe in his pocket. Oh yeah, he had Hephaestus forge an engagement ring for her. How sweet! Anyway. He kept his hand around the small box, comforted by the weight of it. Though that comfort was disrupted by a feeling that something was wrong, there was a discontent that tangled in his veins, and it was like the world was too quiet and too still. Persephone. Antony and Zophie burst through the doors of Nevernight. Behind them, a girl followed, the blonde from Persephone's work, Helen, who sat at the front desk. Hades could feel her hysteria, knew they were about to deliver fatal news. She's gone, Zophie exclaimed. Persephone, she's missing. Black spots clouded his vision, and he growled. Where was she last? We were about to leave the Acropolis when she went downstairs, Helen explained, her breathing uneven. She said she had to say goodbye to someone. When she didn't come back, I went to look and found, well, this. She handed a notebook to Hades, and he snatched it from her hands. What is it? He demanded. It's not good, Antony said. Someone was stalking her. Hades opened the book and read one of the entries. They were all dated and handwritten. Like I said, I will be skipping the entries, but basically the first one was on June 27th, second was on July 1st. Hades felt bile rise in the back of his throat as he read entry after entry. They were all like this, short, dated paragraphs that detailed what Persephone was wearing, conversations the man had with her, and gifts he'd left her. Whoever this was had planned this abduction. He wanted to hurt her, torture her, rape her. Hades' body shook with a fury he could not contain as his glamour melted away. Glamour is like a human disguise, by the way. What if he was too late? Who is this man? He demanded through his teeth. They call him Pyrrhus, said Helen. Pyrrhus. He was a janitor, she added. No one ever took notice of him except Persephone. And it was likely her kindness he had abused. Hades' magic welled, and in the next second, a familiar screech broke the air as the Furies, Alecto, Maiagora, and Tisiphone, erupted from the floor around him. They hovered in a circle, their pale bodies adorned with black snakes that hissed as they slithered around their arms and their stomachs and their legs. Lord Hades, they said, their voices a horrible, strange echo. Find Persephone, he said. Do what you must to keep her safe. The Furies screamed as they accepted their orders, and their black wings beat, whipping the air as they rocketed toward the ceiling, reaching the pinnacle of Nevernight, sending chunks of obsidian flying across New Athens. What can we do? Helen asked. There's nothing you can do, he snarled, and she stumbled back at his rage. He did not care that he had startled her, because he had silenced her, and that was what he needed right now, the quiet, so he could follow the Furies' magic. While he held on to them, a finger twined around thread, his mind felt like a battlefield, erupting with nothing but thoughts of the consequences of finding her too late, and that only fueled his agony. He knew when the Furies had located her because the tension between his magic and theirs lessened, and while he felt the smallest sense of relief, he would not be okay until he laid eyes on her, until he was certain she was unharmed. He teleported, manifesting in the shadows of his own magic to find Persephone bound to a wooden chair, her face stained with tears, eyes red, lashes wet. And all around the room was what looked like wood debris. Then his eyes fell to the man who had abducted her. Pyrrhus. He was unassuming, thin and willowy with dark hair and high cheekbones. There was nothing to his features that made Hades think he had divine blood. He was crumpled against the wall, a massive stake protruding from his chest. He was dead, but not for long. Hades called on his magic, and Pirithous gasped, then moaned, the pain of his wound shuddering through him. When he saw Hades, he began to whimper. I brought you back to life so I can tell you I will enjoy torturing you for the rest of your eternal life. In fact, I think I will keep you alive so you can ruminate in your pain. Hades snapped his fingers, and a chasm opened beneath Pirithous' body. As the earth fell away, he took pleasure in the sound of the man's screams echoing as he fell to Tartarus. Alecto, Myagra, Tisiphone, see to Pirithous, Hades ordered. The three would guard him until he could take over. They bowed and vanished, and Hades was left to care for Persephone. He released her from the coarse bindings Pirithous had used to restrain her, noting the redness on her wrists. As he knelt before her, she fell into his arms, and he gathered her to him, teleporting to the underworld. Once in their bedroom, she burst into tears, and he felt helpless to do anything but sit with her and hold her and let her expend every ounce of her fear. I am so sorry, Hades said as he rocked her. I did not know. I am so sorry. While he held her, he felt like breaking too. He could not control the beat of his own heart, could not stop his stomach from twisting or the nausea from climbing up his throat. He was angry for so many reasons, but at the end of the day, he was devastated that she had not been safe, and there was a possibility she would never feel safe again. He did not know how long Persephone cried, but there came a time when she quieted, and when she pulled away, he took his heart with her. I need to scrub him from my skin. Hades said nothing because he feared what he would say, and instead took her to the baths. Once there, he sat apart from her while she undressed and entered the hot pool. He watched as she washed every part of her skin until she was red from head to toe, and all he could think was that he had touched her there, everywhere. By the time she finished, his hands were fisted so tightly his nails had cut into his palms. He only healed them when she crawled onto his lap and wrapped her arms around his neck. He was grateful for her closeness and held her tight. How did you know I was missing? She asked. Your coworker, Helen, got worried when you didn't come back from the basement. She went to search for you and found the journals. When he thought of them, he wanted to kill Pirithous 1,000 times over, and he would. He had no tolerance for abusers of women and children, and the fact that Persephone was involved made it worse. She didn't know who to tell. For better or for worse, she told a security guard. Sophie had been patrolling outside when she was notified, and she realized she'd watched Pirithous leave with you in a tilt truck. I've never known. What is a tilt truck? Hold on, let me look this up real quick. That's a tilt truck? What the? It's like one of those like little plastic wheelbarrow thingies that janitors use. Gosh. Here I was thinking it was a whole truck in general. That's even worse. I'm sorry. When she told me, I sent the Furies. You had already been gone so long. I wasn't sure what I would find. He was a demigod, she said, her voice quiet. He had power. Hades' earlier observation had been right, then. He grimaced. Demigods are dangerous, mostly because we do not know what power they will inherit from their divine parent. Not to mention many demigods did not know their parentage, and it was not always apparent even after their powers developed. Hades could not help thinking about Ariadne's comment, that Theseus had gathered an army of demigods, soldiers. She had called them. Soldiers, she had called them, sorry. Pirithous was just one example of how little they actually knew about demigods, including their numbers, their powers, their capabilities. What was Pirithous able to use against you? He put me to sleep, and when I woke, I couldn't use my magic. I couldn't focus. My head, my mind was in turmoil. Hades' brows lowered. Compulsion. It can have that effect. It took a lot of training to keep from being compelled to. Persephone would have had no chance to fight it. After a moment, he asked in a quiet, rough voice, "Tell me what happened." She studied him for a moment, looking very troubled. Perhaps she worried over what he would do once he knew the full truth, and she had every reason to, because he was not stable at the moment. "I will tell you if you will promise me one thing." Hades studied her face, waiting. "When you torture him, I get to join you." He hugged her tight as he swore, "That is a promise I can keep." Woo! Listen, this series does things to me. I can't. Yeah, regardless, read the series. It's fun. It's action-packed. And the thing is, though, I like books that, if it's romance, I don't like when books are always sunshine and rainbows. It can hurt to read it, but I like when books have some, like romance books, have some sort of disagreements. Because you have no idea how many flippin' books I have read that had these couples with just full sunshine and rainbows. The world doesn't work like that. But then they get into arguments, but they get over it. Like, they make up, they communicate. Communication is key, people. Anyway. Yeah, I will be reading that once I end the stream, which will not be for a while. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody joined. It's a little sad, but it's okay. Well, regardless, oh, my back. That's fine. You know what? I'm gonna try to finish a drawing, but if there are no drawings I can finish in this stream, then I will just simply draw. Oh, for the love! I cannot finish that in time. Swatches. Eye drawings. I don't feel like coloring any of those yet. More swatches. Ooh, a fashion design. I would finish it. Yes, I don't know how. I'll think about that. I'll think about it. Oh, yeah. So I made a remake of a drawing that I made. Let me see if I can get it for you guys. Okay. This I made when I was like 9. And then 6 years later, I make this. Which one do you think is better? By the way, that's my zodiac. Ooh. Okay. What else? Oh, mother trucker, go in there! This was for school. Actually. Yeah, I did a project on 9/11. So, yeah. And now, I will make white unnecessary. No, I'll make a paper airplane out of this. Actually, I don't think that's a good idea. See if I make it in the trash can. No! That's fine. What should I want to look through my old drawings, actually. Because I actually have like a huge sketch pad that my cousin left behind that I decided to draw in. It's mine now. And I made a lot of drawings. For example, I could probably finish this one. I need to finish this. I started it, but I didn't finish it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. Was I gonna do Kurapika or was I gonna do Crollo on the other side? I was gonna do Crollo. Well, in the meantime, I could finish Hisoka's eye because I hate coloring when I'm not finished with the other. But at the same time, I just need to get something done. I have a lot of unfinished drawings. Oh yeah, I made a my Wally time drawing! Oh my gosh, I remember this! It took me 2 hours! I feel like I should color in the flippin' jacket though. So I made a Wally darling. I made a Wally darling drawing. I want to put this on my wall somewhere. I want to put my artwork on my wall. Do I have tape? I have tape. Yes. I'm going to tape this to my wall. No! I dropped it. I dropped the sketchbook. No! This is probably like probably the best drawing I've done when it comes to, because I can't draw faces or really anything on my own. Like the Aries drawing I showed you, that was with pure mind, like just from my mind. This was with a reference picture. You can tell what I'm more skilled at. Dude, I have an itch on my shoulder and it hurts. It's like something's biting me. Oh. Anyway. I'm gonna frame this. Well, not technically frame. I'm gonna use double-sided tape. Because I finally have double-sided tape. So freaking happy about that. Anyway, I just need to... While we're young... Okay. One right here. Up. No, for love of God, no! Don't stick. Okay. No, it's sticky. It's sticky! This is why I rarely use double-sided tape. Thank you. It's gonna be a booty to take off. And then I'm going to put right here. Be safe with scissors, kids. I want to end up like me. I've accidentally cut myself twice. Not fun. You never want to get cut by something. It is not fun at all. Just be safe with sharp objects, kids. Do not be like, oh, call me right here. Okay. And then heel. I love this part so much. Where are my tweezers? Tweezers. Oh, come on. Uno más. Or dos más, actually. Now it's uno más. Yay, okay. Now that I have that, I'm going to place it right here next to my window. Ah! Yay! Now I have a little Wally darling up here. You guys can't see it from here. Now let me pick you guys up. Yay! Maybe now that I have everything, I can start duct taping and putting my artwork on my walls. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna look through my stuff because I have a lot of finished drawings that I need to duct tape. Well, it's not duct tape. It's double-sided tape. Get it right, Johnson. Anyway. There's no more finished ones there. This is inside. Nothing really finished in here either, so put that away. Oh, I just cleaned this desk. Anyway, I have a binder of things that my family has given me and also things that I have drawn on my own. Where I'm going to look through and see which ones I want to put. So I think I'll put this one. Oh, this one from my mother, most definitely. These are from my friend Gabby. I need that. And then from me, let's see what I can put on here. This Phoenix drawing, yes. Not really wall worthy. They're all unfinished. That's a maybe that I just put on here. All these are so old. Yeah, I love them. My Pickle the Dinosaur! I'm definitely putting that up there. Now that I have all the things, I'm going to start off with the ones from my family. Starting off with this one. This one is from my tia, my Nina. Ah! Mother trucker. This one I'm going to place probably right here on like this little corner underneath my windowsill. Because I have a lot of wall space. So, yeah. You guys probably cannot see what I'm doing. And then now I'm going to get these little... There we go. Now it's time for this one from my lovely little brother, Ryland. You guys know him as well. I don't even know how I got this thing of double-sided tape. I just have it. I dropped the scissors on my lap, but it didn't hurt me because they're safety scissors. Thing is, I would stand on my rolly chair. My like desk chair that I have, but I do not want to fall off. I'm not gonna die that way. I'm not. You're not gonna catch me slipping, quite literally. No. Now, this lovely masterpiece is gonna go all the way up here. move the chair. Right up here. Ah! Right up. No, right up. Oh, thank you, Lord. Next is this one from my mother. I love my mom so much. I'm the one with the skirt in this, and then that's my mom. She drew this for me when I was about, I think I was like 10. She's a very talented artist. But my aunt, she used to do tattoos. I don't know if she still does. Time for more tape. Woohoo. I'm gonna trim this a bit. No, the double-sided tape on this one isn't working. Hold on. There we go. gonna keep going until I run out of tape on this desk. So now I am going to put these lovely masterpieces out. Oh yeah, so my really good friend Gabby, you know her from my FNAF gameplay video. Back then, I used to have a huge crush on Tamaki from My Hero Academia. So she decided to draw Tamaki, and that's me. It's me. Which I thought was very, very cool. But her art style is just so beautiful. I'm in love with her art style. I can't. It's just so cute. And this one. Oh, this one's another one. So me and her both watch Haikyuu. This is Bokuto. And she decided to put Inosuke from Demon Slayer in there. And it says you like yelling for fun? Duh, that's my hobby. You like calling people weird names? Alright, it's official. I'm adopting you. I'm sorry. Bokuto is just a gem. Honestly. He's awesome. We love Bokuto. Me and Gabby, we adore Bokuto. Bokuto is cool. Now, did I simp for him? No. But you know who from Haikyuu I did simp for? Tendo. I used to have the biggest like fictional crush on Tendo from Haikyuu. Baki no, I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna take this live stream down. But like I love Tendo's energy and just like him in general. It's funny. What is with me and these like crazy characters? My favorite from My Hero Academia now is still Tamaki, but I also really like Bakugo. Bakugo is another anime crush. I'm gonna put this one up here, please. No! Please don't stick me in. Okay. And then down. There we go. And then we have this one I did. It's a phoenix drawing. A blue phoenix. Because blue is one of my favorite colors. It still is. My most favorite color, though, is crimson, but I don't have any crimson color pencils. I want to recreate more phoenixes. Because the phoenix is my favorite mythological creature. So, yeah. No! I almost ripped the double-sided tape in half. If one of my friends ever dressed up as Tendo from Haikyuu, I would immediately start crying because Tendo is just a adorable menace to society. I'm kidding. He's not really a menace. He's just really energetic, and we love that. Or at least I know I do. I'll put these two away. This is what I use to overcome my fear of spiders. Still don't like spiders. I'm going to put pickle right here. And I'm going to quickly put these two away. I'm going to look in this binder and this spider's going to be the first thing I see and I'm going to freak out. Anyway. Last one and then I'll move on to something else. This one I think I did when I was bored at my biological father's house. So I decided to draw a pickle. This one I'm going to have to cut more roundly. We need a little finesse. Did I seriously say that? Now it is time for this. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do stripes on the back because since it's not a very square drawing, yeah, that works. Don't stick to me. Here's what's going on through my mind right now. I am doing something a little different, which I have taped paintings to my wall before. Or to a wall, not my wall. My first time doing it on my wall. However, oh, mother trucker. Oh, mother trucker indeed. Pickle the dino will be going up here. Yay. Now I have some artwork up here. so happy. Now, I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna throw this trash away. Let me get the trash out. My leg. Ow. Yes, I'm using this for my trash can for paper. Oh, can't stop me. Yeah, I'm gonna put this right here. So I don't have to worry about throwing away paper later on. Yay, that's cool. I like that, that's cool. Whew. Well, since I don't know what else to do. I broke one of the freaking clips. No. No, come on. I barely even touched it. Sounds horrible. There we go. Good as new. Oh yeah. So my room is still a bit of a mess because, like I said, I'm going through everything. But you remember what my old room was, so I'm going to give you a bit of a small tour, even though it's kind of open. So we're at the door that leads to the bedroom. This is my closet. This is stuff I'm working on. That's like a bunch of like headbands and lanterns, or a lantern, and a bag of Halloween candy, some medals. This is my bed. You might be wondering why I don't have my usual blanket. It's because I put it in the living room temporarily. You're currently on the couch chair. I'm currently about to cry. My bed is probably going to be the last thing I organize. However, since I'm such a rough sleeper, I have to fix it every night before I go to sleep. Very nice. Aside from that, as you can see, I put fairy lights. And then, if I turn you this way, we have my TV, my video games, my pictures, which I might put up somewhere else. And, sorry. I also have a guitar. I would play it, but you know where that's going to go. Anyway, and then turn this way. More organized area. We got my desk, got my vanity, and then we have two little boxes on my bookshelf. And yeah, that's basically the tour. And that's my window. You know what? I'm going to let the fairy lights down. No, please don't tangle. Okay. The fan is on, so that's what I'm scared about. Let's see what it looks like with the lights off. 3, 2, 1. Oh wow, that's pretty. I get to sleep with, I like to sleep with fairy lights. Oh wow, that's really pretty. It illuminates my room and everything. Oh my gosh. I'm in love. I love fairy lights. Fairy lights are just my pride and joy. Because it gives me something pleasant to wake up to. Like, I'm sleeping and then I see like little fairy lights and I'm just like, ah. But aside from that, you may have noticed that I had my little bedroom curtain, my bed curtain removed. That was because started getting in the way, and it would clash really, really badly with my painted wall. So I said, you know what, I wanted to improvise. And improvise I did. Other than that, yeah, nothing too interesting. I don't know. There's not much else to look at, really. Oh yeah, my crop ukulele. Let me get the remote control for that. I think it is plugged in right now. Woo! Yeah, it is. Here's what I mean. Okay. So as you can see, it covers my entire room. And then I'm gonna bring you guys closer. Probably cannot see me, but that's fine. Oh, sorry. So with the periwinkle, the white makes the walls look like a sky blue. And then when I do green, makes the walls look teal. When I do blue, it makes the walls look like, well, light blue. And then when I do pink, that's not pink, yellow. Let me do pink. When it looks pink, it reminds me of like skyish blue teal. And then when I do like cyan, it looks blue. With yellow, it looks green, like Tiana, Princess Tiana's dress. Well, here's my favorite LED out of all of them. Red. Red is my personal favorite because red is also my personal favorite color. But it makes the walls look purple. But yeah, it's quite nice. Regardless, I like having stuff. Stuff's cool. Also this thing I took from my brother. Can you shush? Let me see if I can do this again without raging. Where is this starting at? Oh, there it is. No. Well, anyway, it is time for me to actually get ready for bed. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Finally, a new live stream. I hope it wasn't too boring. You got to see me make a spectacle of myself. And I will certainly see you guys next time. Goodbye. Stay safe, y'all.